All right, let's talk about OpenAI Sora. This is the new AI that's just completely changing the game, blurring the lines between what's real and what you can imagine. It's kicked off this massive global conversation, and we're going to dive right into the heart of it.
So let's just start with a question. What if you could direct an entire movie with just one sentence? Imagine bringing any scene, any story, any wild idea in your head to life just by typing it out. Well, that's not sci-fi anymore. That is the incredible promise of Sora.
So what is this thing really? Sora is an AI model that can create these insanely realistic, high-def videos up to a minute long from basically nothing more than a text description. And we're not talking about simple cartoons. We're talking complex scenes, multiple characters, specific camera movements, and, real emotion. It is a massive leap forward.
The videos are so shockingly good that it's got people thinking some pretty wild thoughts. Like, look at this comment from a user on X. It captures that feeling perfectly. The results look so real, it's making people question reality itself. Is it generating something or capturing it?
Okay, so how in the world does OpenAI actually pull this off? It's not magic, I promise, but the tech behind it is, wow, it's incredibly clever. So let's peek inside the magic box and see how this thing is actually built.
At its heart, Sora is what's called a diffusion transformer. Now, I know that sounds super technical, but think of it like this. It's like an AI sculptor. It starts with a block of just random visual noise, like old TV static. And then, using your text prompt as a guide, it just carves away all that chaos, bit by bit, until a clear, perfect video emerges.
The real breakthrough here is how Sora sees the world. You know how language models like GPT understand sentences by breaking them into little pieces of words called tokens? Well, Sora does the same thing, but for video. It breaks down what it sees into these things called patches. They're like little building blocks of visual information. And this slide right here breaks down that whole process. First, it squishes a video down to make it easier to work with. Then, it patchifies it, breaks it into those little space-time patches. After that, the model takes a screen full of noise, and using your prompt, it predicts what the clean patches are supposed to look like. And finally, a decoder puts all those clean patches back together into the final, amazing video.
But, of course, with power this big comes a huge debate. The release of Sora has been called both incredible and scary by pretty much everyone. And it started this giant public conversation about all the good it could do and all the harm.
On one side, you've got just pure excitement. People, like this user here, see Sora as this revolutionary tool for creativity. The argument is that it's democratizing filmmaking, basically giving the power of a whole Hollywood studio to anyone who has an idea.
But then there's the other side of the coin. You have a huge backlash from critics and artists. They're raising serious red flags about the ethics of it all, saying it's trained on tons of copyrighted work without anyone's permission. For them, it's not democratization, it's just theft.
And this table really lays out that central conflict, right? The potential benefits are just massive. Imagine a history teacher just typing "walk through ancient Rome" and showing it to their class. But for every one of those, there's a huge risk. Think about a fake video of a politician that drops a week before an election. It's that serious.
This word cloud is basically a perfect snapshot of the public mood. You can see the words that keep popping up: people, video, real, art, data, jobs. It's just a visual of all the excitement, all the fear, and all the deep, deep uncertainty that's wrapped up in this thing.
Which brings us to a really deep and honestly kind of scary question that we all have to deal with now. With Sora, you can create video evidence out of thin air. You can generate political propaganda that looks completely real. So, if you can't tell the difference, how do we even define what's true anymore?
So when the stakes are this high, the conversation, of course, turns to rules, to regulation. How do we build guardrails for a technology that can literally simulate reality? Is it even possible to control it?
So, a few ideas have been thrown around. The most obvious one is making it law to put a digital watermark on all AI content. Another is to build better tech to detect the fakes. But tech isn't everything. We also have to teach ourselves, the public, to be smarter about the media we see. And finally, there's accountability, holding the companies that make this stuff responsible when it's misused.
But here's the catch, and it is a huge catch. Those safety measures, they are not even close to foolproof. Researchers have already figured out how to trick Sora's safety filters using something called prompt engineering. Get this, One study showed that by just tweaking the words a little, using synonyms, more abstract language, or even switching to Italian in the middle of a sentence, users got Sora to create graphic, violent content that is completely against OpenAI's own rules. It just blew right past the guardrails, exposing a massive vulnerability.
And that leaves us here with one final big thought to chew on. People are calling Sora a world simulator. As this incredible and yes, scary technology becomes available, the power to shape these new simulated worlds, it doesn't just belong to OpenAI. It belongs to all of us. The critical question isn't what we can create anymore, it's what we should.